What's going on, guys? It's a Teeing Up Truth men here. We are missing one, though. Miles is not with us. Miles decided that Disney World was cooler than Teeing Up Truth. So he is not with us this week. Our next episode, he will be back, and we're going to drop a bomb on you guys in the next episode. We're not going to do it without Miles, but Brett has something that he needs to drop and let the listeners know about.
Yeah, I basically did something that I've never done in my entire life before, and but we're gonna wait. We're
Yeah,
gonna let
we
y'all
need
sit on it
we
for a little
need
bit, and
Miles for it.
because
And
Miles has a good reaction to it as well. But
yeah,
but it's good.
yeah. Um,
Good start to 2024.
Good, bad, who knows? The world may never know, but we'll see. We'll see. In the next episode. This is episode 8, I believe. I think we're on 8, which is pretty cool. We're actually moving along. We're trying to be really consistent with you guys. As we continue to grow, consistency wise, we're gonna try to expand a little bit. But right now, our main focus is getting who we are out there and growing the channel and being consistent. So if you haven't already, you're listening to this, make sure to follow us on whatever platform you're following. Throw a review in there for us. It'd be great if you're on Instagram, or sorry, not Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe, like, and drop a comment. It really helps out. If you have any questions, shoot those there. If you want us to touch on something in a video or podcast, let us know. We want to interact with you guys. So, with all that being said, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna try to keep this short today. It is 2 p.m. on February 11th, Super Bowl Sunday. I guess I don't really care about the Super Bowl personally, but do you have a pick for who's gonna win? Who you want to win?
I mean, I cheer for the Ravens, so once they lost,
Mm,
I'm kind of out of it. But I don't have any allegiance to either of these teams.
yeah,
But since KC knocked out the Ravens, I kind of want them to lose.
that's fair.
But I don't really have. I feel like I like players on both teams, but I could don't really care for either team.
Yeah. I
I'm watching it with friends, but I feel like we're just gonna all hang out.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it at any of it. I might see
Yeah,
a few snaps, but uh, football's just kind of gotten boring for me. If I don't have any fantasy players going, I really don't care. So,
yeah,
uh,
dude, I'm right there. I
yeah,
feel that.
yeah. But I think my personal preference is the 49ers in this case. Um,
Yeah, that's what I
tired of
think I'm
Kansas
going for
City.
too.
So,
Yeah, that's what I feel like eventually you just go for the underdog.
yeah. All right. Well, jumping in, we're gonna start off talking about the Good Desert Open. It was this past Wednesday on the 7th.
Yeah,
And I mean, it was first things first. It is awesome what they accomplished. Uh,
incredible.
Incredible. Live on YouTube. At one point, they had like 120,000 live viewers on the YouTube channel, like live stream. I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure, which is incredible. Um, and then they were partnered with Peacock as well, where the finale was. I luckily do have Peacock, so I was able to watch a little bit of it once it switched over. I fell asleep though. It was
yeah,
kind of late. It was kind of late for us East Coast people.
it
Uh,
was late.
so, you know, I actually talked to Josie into letting us get a year long worth of subscription of Peacock so that she could watch the Hallmark channel during the holidays because they have that on there. And in turn, I can watch golf tournaments because they broadcast golf on Peacock.
Yeah,
So, and then I got the Good Desert Open. I know
yeah,
you have a lot of opinions, a lot of goods, bads, improvements. So I want you to jump in and elaborate on your
yeah.
thoughts.
The first things first, like you said, it was blown away. I
Yeah.
think on more than probably 5 occasions, I would like lean over and told my wife, like, no, you have to check this out. Like, look at this production quality.
Yep.
Like, this is crazy. Like, this is when they were talking about like the future of, YouTube golf and everything. I thought it was a little high reaching, which I think they did on some other things as well. But yeah, the production was, I don't know if I would have, if I could have expected more from the actual like main thing that they were trying to address, which was really just like the Good Desert Open, those two feature groups, and then you
Yeah.
had Riggs and Francis kind of catering to those groups. It was just so well done. Thought the commercials were actually really good as well.
Oh, the
I didn't
good
know
good
those were
made
gonna be a thing,
commercials.
but it made sense. Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought those were actually pretty decent. Props to, like, Brad, I think I saw on his Instagram or something that week where he was talking about how he's getting better in front of the camera.
Yeah.
He had to do a lot of acting in
Yeah,
this,
I did.
but
Dude, I
Bubby and
think
Steve are
Bubby eats
naturals in
that up.
those. Yeah, him and Steve just crushed that
Yeah.
one rangefinder commercial. They were great.
Yeah. Oh, that
But,
was funny. I did see that one.
those were super legit too. But yeah, my my pros and cons for sure. I mean, or I guess I went over a bunch of the pros, but I thought it was just the field they have was pretty star studded. I mean, we
Mhm.
talked about it. It was crazy.
From a
There
YouTube
was a lot
golf
of hype
perspective, yeah.
for sure.
Right.
There was a lot of hype going into it, wanting to see some of these people. Um, I thought maybe this was just on me. I don't know, but it seemed like other people also didn't know it was going to go YouTube to
Mhm.
exclusive Peacock.
Yep.
Kind of thought it would be YouTube the whole time, and then maybe Peacock would have just taken over. What I thought. So I think that was a little bit of a bummer. I saw some other comments where people were saying similar things, but maybe that was communicated. I just missed it. I don't know.
I was
But then I
actually under
thought,
the impression that it was gonna be on both the whole time, and you could choose which
yeah,
platform you wanted to watch it on.
that's what I would have guessed as well.
Yeah.
But when I saw it just on YouTube initially, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, so it's just like maybe they couldn't get Peacock to cover the whole thing, is what I guess. I
Mhm.
thought the same thing initially. It was just both. But the I thought it was a little bit of a bummer sometimes where like some groups were advertised that I didn't really get to see,
Yeah.
which is something that I've seen, I think, on a lot of other comments and such, which I think is fair for some of us who you advertise, Bust Jack or something like that, who I'm a big fan of.
Mhm.
Didn't really get to see them play a whole lot. Like you got to see him take a couple of shots, but no
Mhm.
real mic'd up stuff. Would have liked to see some more of Divot Dudes,
Mhm.
but I also get that this is Goods tournament, and like they had their two feature groups, and that's who they were following. Like I totally get that was where the emphasis was, but I guess my critique for the Midwest Open would have been something like if you could have somebody, I don't even know who it is. Like if somebody from Good isn't even playing in it or something
Mhm.
along those lines, or whatever, or another Barstool dude
Oh, well, I mean,
who's just
so that's
camped out on a hole, and
yeah.
you get to see every single team at least go through that hole. And you don't have to play all the footage, but at least you
Yeah.
get something.
Right. I wonder if someone hit a hole in one, if they would have like, flashed to it or something like that. Like,
I feel like they would have had to cut
right.
to it, right?
Right. I mean, but that's a great point. I think like feature hole, that like they do on like at Sawgrass or
Yeah.
Scott's
Anywhere.
everywhere. Like they have those featured
ESPN
holes.
Plus does it for
Yeah,
every tournament. They
exactly.
always have feature
And
holes.
so if they
Yeah.
have one of those for the Midwest Open, that'd be good. I mean, they could get that Nate Edwardson guy. He's like
Yeah.
super plugged in with Good. He's always doing vlogs about them. They give him a ton of their uh like all their gear and clothes and stuff. So like I mean like I'm pretty sure they're like partnered somehow. So like just have he was there. He had an all access
Something.
pass. Like throw him
Dude,
on a
even if
hole.
Kendrick's camping out on
That's
it,
true.
Kendrick's great in front of the camera.
Yeah.
I love anytime we get to see stuff from Kendrick, but something on cut the hole for a hole in one hole in a par three,
Yeah.
interview people at the tee box. Hey, how are you guys doing? Where have you
Yeah.
missed shots at? Just to get a little, I think it would have been cool for some of these groups. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure they loved it. I'm sure they loved the exposure.
Mhm.
But even the people who, like you guys, knew the winners, Ashton Gollin and Ben Kruper, better, I think, than I did.
Mhm.
I know the Ashton dude I only ever saw from like things where people did edits to him next to Grant for like the silkiest swing. I don't see much of his content.
I don't
And
either.
then Ben
I
is the pause guy who I
yeah.
think a lot of people actually know.
Yeah, I knew Ben because of the pause, and then I had started seeing Ashton more because they're both Team Wilson, and so like, and I follow Wilson Golf, so like
Mhm.
Wilson posts a lot about Ashton as well.
My
Um,
gosh. I
so
didn't know my puppy was over there.
you're good.
Give me one.
We had a pause for a dog break. Uh, but
But I thought just like I would have liked to have seen more like, I love Bubby on Good Good, and
Yeah,
I don't even know if I ever heard him speak the entire time I was watching him play and he was playing with Trevor Bauer.
right.
Like,
Dude,
I wanted
I
I
don't
wanted to see some coverage on him,
I saw
and
one
he's
thing
so good.
where Trevor Bauer and Eric
Oh,
Sims.
they threw something,
Yeah,
right? And they
Bauer
hit it?
Trevor threw it
I
and
do
he hit it
remember
with a
that.
baseball bat. And I don't know if they did that the whole time or if that was just one thing that they did for that hole.
Yeah,
Like that would have been cool
no
to see.
idea.
Like I mean, you know, I haven't rewatched the video. They've posted it in two parts. I just saw.
Yeah,
I haven't
'cause I
rewatched
the
any of it.
YouTube one was already streamed. I think that was just posted raw, and
Uh,
then I guess they took the Peacock one and put
yeah.
it up there as well,
Uh,
which I skimmed through as well.
right.
But yeah, I there was that was my main thing was I just wanted to see some more coverage from some other groups. I think that was my biggest takeaway was like I think Good knows it as well. They have this incredible platform that also, and I think they want to do this,
Hmm.
like expanding YouTube golf by bringing more viewers to the Ben Croopers. I'm looking at some of the leaderboards
Hmm.
here. Like Paige has plenty good following, but still, and everyone, all of these content creators. I mean, Rappaport's on Barstool. You got some big people. The Bryan Bros are pretty well known.
Yeah. But like,
I
I
don't
don't know
know
who
who
Gab.
Mac Butcher
You don't know
is.
Mac Boucher?
Is that that's not hole in one trick shots. That's the dude
No,
who just like
that's
hits
a
it lefty and righty, right?
yeah, dude. He's a good
He
follow.
hits it lefty and righty.
Yeah, he's a good follow on Instagram. He plays like he's from Canada, and so he plays all these Canadian courses, and he was in New Zealand and stuff.
Mm,
And so like all of his, I mean,
gorgeous
he
courses.
just posts these beautiful like mountain esque
Oh, I
like
bet they're
yeah,
stunning.
yeah, it's crazy. And
But
he's
like,
always like
and Haddon is with him, and Haddon was always good in front of the camera and good. So
yeah,
it's like, and I know he's a small. I not I say he's a smaller creator, but I just mean compared to some of the other guys,
yeah,
like
yeah,
anytime you can grow any of these people, it's also helping grow your own
yeah,
brand.
absolutely.
I'm not saying they didn't do that. I think I don't want that to be the main focus, but if we're trying to get, which I think they're trying to make this like the future of YouTube golf, which I
Hmm.
thought was a really high standard. I think they started off on a great foot, but
Yep.
like bring everybody in with it.
Hmm.
Let these people be more household names like Garrett Clark and Grant Horvat,
Yeah. Right.
which for sure they put in the time and the work for it. There's not like it happens overnight or from one desert open,
Hmm.
but that was my biggest. But again, like overall, it's just like it was like 9 out of 10. Like it was so good.
Yeah.
I was very impressed.
Yeah.
The weather sucked a little bit, but I mean, they really didn't like make that even a focal point.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Who?
sure it sucked to be out there, but
Right. I mean, who would have thought that in the middle of the desert it'd be raining for like 2 weeks
dude, they got
straight?
hail earlier that day
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Like,
That was crazy,
I mean, the
and it was like cold rain.
yeah, and like the tournament, the actual PGA tournament has been affected by it and stuff, and
Oh,
they still
terrible.
went. I mean, but good. You know, they
Yeah,
chugged along. Um, One of my other things that I noticed that was a little not like irritating or anything, but like they flashed the leaderboard a few times, and they only showed like the people in the top 10, and they never scrolled through it. So like
yeah,
I don't
I
know
agree.
I don't know what everyone finished with. I mean, maybe it's out there somewhere, but from what I could tell, like I see the top 10 and there's, you know,
A little more accessible for the leaderboard for sure. I
yeah.
felt like it was always hard to keep up with where other people were.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know what Busted Jack finished because I don't see them on here in the top. I guess top 10.
Yeah.
Which I get, you kind of list like the top 10 is really what matters,
Right.
but when you're following some of the people you wanna know, it'd be cool. Um,
Yeah, like I don't know what the Divot dudes finished. And like I like them a lot. Like,
no idea.
you know.
Post round interviews with some of the people I think would have been cool.
Yeah.
But they did I will say like, where I think they put their time and their effort, like, in those 2 feature groups, they did a really good job. I know some people are hit or miss, love or hate them with the Barstool guys.
Who hates
I
the
don't know if
Barstool
that
guys?
I don't really know if that's really so true. It's just I saw a fair amount of comments where it was either love or hate on why did they have the Barstool crew doing the commentating? Just mic up those 2 groups and let them talk. And I was kind of like, yeah, but I thought they did a really good job.
Yeah.
I thought Riggs did a good job of just
Oh, dude, Riggs and
he
Francis
he
are
was
hilarious.
he was so different than Francis, and then Francis would just basically like shoot with the guys and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
talk smack, and you knew that they could probably hear him while he was over a
Yeah,
putt.
yeah, they're, like,
And but then he
putting and
like
he's like
praised Luke on to like no end, but everybody else he would like talk down to. It was great. I
he
thought
kept
he did a
calling,
good job.
Steve's shirt a sorority shirt. I thought that was so funey. He's
Oh,
always
and it was like actual good merch.
yeah,
I thought that was
yeah.
so good.
I was
I
really
mean,
impressed with the
it was
Barstool
really
guys
good.
because they're pretty raunchy, and Good Good's a clean channel, and they did a great
Mhm.
job. I mean, it was a live stream,
Oh,
and I don't,
I couldn't believe
I
it.
didn't
I
hear
couldn't
them
believe they gave
say
Francis the mic
anything.
on a good
Yeah, right.
channel. But
uh,
I do think their little duo, that they just had in the Caribbean, I think that helped a lot
oh yeah,
because they had some of those relationships
yeah.
made, and it showed, and I'm so excited for more collabs with them, but I think they put a lot of time into those little feature groups and setting up. I think that was a home run.
No, dude, I agree. It's a 9 out of 10. Like, sure, we have some critiques about what's going on, but one, we didn't put this on, so like,
Right.
it was.
Nothing.
There was
Just
so
from a
much.
viewer perspective,
Yeah,
as a
that's right.
fan.
I'm sure
That's
there's
it.
so much went into it. What they emphasized, you're right. It was done really well. Overall, it was done really well. I
Yeah.
really feel like the
Yeah.
things that we're talking about right now are just being extremely nitpicky. Like because
We just want more of the good, basically. I just kinda
yeah,
want another Barstool dude at a feature hole or
right,
something, and
right,
then I get to see everybody. I
right.
just wanted to see more of everyone, basically, is all it really
Or
was.
I mean, even if it was like I don't know if on the YouTube video, no, like it would have been cool if on the YouTube video or on the live stream they had a link to everyone's that's playing like their channels. Be like, hey, because like everyone's posting their own content
Oh,
about it. Like it's like,
true.
hey, like
Just
these
a
are all the
plug.
people who are in
Yeah.
here. Here's the links to their YouTube or Instagram or whatever. Like, go check it out. I'm sure they posted about it themselves. So
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't get to see everybody tee off. Maybe they did that on the tee offs, but I don't know if they really did. But that would have been cool because then it would have been, whoever this is,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah. Go follow them on
right.
XYZ.
I was at a church service Wednesday night, just like when it started. So I started watching late.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe they did. I don't know.
I started watching from the beginning, but they
Oh,
didn't
okay,
show everyone's tee shot.
okay.
Like there was groups already because that's what when I initially texted you, it was when freaking Ashton and Ben were like 5 under through 6
Yeah,
because they just showed it was like hole 2, 3, and 4. They went birdie, eagle, birdie, and I was like,
when I started
holy cow! Like
watching,
good luck catching them.
they gave like a recap of them going birdie, eagle, birdie. Like they showed those 3 holes or a few putts or
Yeah,
whatever. But like that's all I saw of them until the last hole. Like
right, right.
we saw the divot dudes hit their tee shots on
18
8
or
or
14.
14. I thought
Yeah,
that Connor almost hit a hole in one. Like I was about to get
yeah, it was good.
so hyped for him. He hit it off the right side of the fringe in the green and it started rolling on. I was like,
Yeah,
that's tracking pretty well. That would have
yeah.
been so hype if he had done
A
that.
hole. I'm not Riggs, I think, predicted 2 hole in ones. I thought that was a little steep, but
Hmm.
I was surprised there weren't more. There were several scares. I think Frankie even hit one to like 2
Oh yeah,
inches,
Frankie was very
but
close.
I was kinda surprised there wasn't a hole in one,
Yeah,
to be honest with you. I also thought those featured groups, I thought they were gonna be painting some pins, like,
yeah,
um,
yeah. I mean, but at the same time,
maybe
those
maybe
feature
they cu
groups,
maybe they cut them a little challenging, I don't know, know, because some of
maybe.
the holes did seem like it was surprising. I was surprised. I wasn't surprised at 9 under 1 after watching for a little bit,
Hmm.
but if you told me going into it, I would have been like, "These guys should tear this place apart," is
Right.
what I'm thinking. Hitting off a mat with a wedge,
Yeah.
like, these guys are just gonna do whatever they want, and the par 4s are 250.
Yeah.
I was like, so they have, like those are guaranteed birdie holes,
The par
and then
four.
sure enough, Garrett bogeys it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. But I mean, it was kind of a
Yeah.
dog leg. Like, people, if you didn't hit a good one,
Yeah, they both hooked it, yeah,
yeah,
and then
over
he
the
put one in the
fence.
water.
Um, that's so funny. What was I thinking? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. But overall,
But it was
great.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm excited
really
for the
impressed.
Midwest Open. Maybe they'll try to improve on some things. Um, who,
I feel like it's only gonna get bigger and
yeah.
better like we want
Right.
it to, basically.
Yeah.
And I'm it's cool. I get excited it was so good that I'm excited to tell people like my father-in-law who's just been a PGA Tour
Hmm.
thoroughbred his whole life, like, no, this is something you should tune in and watch. Like,
Right.
you'll enjoy it
Right.
because it's not just like a kiddie YouTube bunch of guys hitting trick shots. Not that there's anything wrong with that,
Oh
but
yeah.
I think it would appeal because it's good golf, even to people who've just always lived and died by PGA Tour.
You know,
So
it'd be really easy to
they did
sell
a
it to
really
him
good job.
if we were playing in it. I feel like you gotta check it out.
Very
We're in
true.
it.
Very true.
That'd be cool.
Or if we're interviewing people at the hole,
Oh
I'll sit on the par 3 at 15 or whatever you need,
yeah,
Kendrick.
yeah.
I'll interview every group coming through.
You give me a
Tell
script,
me
I'll
what's
read it
up.
line by line. You tell me to go off the cuff, I'll go off the cuff. Whatever you need, I'm there.
If you don't think we can do it, you can give us a co-host. We'll take Bobby Burger,
Oh
just
man,
to be there to help.
imagine sitting on a hole interviewing people with Bob himself.
I thought maybe they would, since they were at the Desert Open or since they were at the Phoenix Open,
Hmm.
I thought and they weren't playing. I thought maybe they would have been
Yeah,
like a group
dude.
that was
I think they were
whatever FP
so
did at his tournament.
yeah. I think they were so plugged in to the waste
Yeah.
management. Like they're like
Well, it looks like they're having a blast too.
yeah. They stopped selling
But
alcohol at that tournament yesterday.
I know. We can talk about that to close this out because the
Yeah.
waste management is this giant tournament. I didn't know it was the biggest PGA Tour event by like a lot.
Oh
I mean, I knew a lot of people went. I didn't
yeah.
know it was like the biggest. But then when they were dude, some of the clips I've seen though, like that dude who's just peeing himself
Oh
at his like on his bar stool table sitting
yeah.
up there and just I'm like, I mean, I'm sure maybe that happens at every event.
Yeah.
I've only gone to like 3 tour events ever, but
I've
I'm
only
just
been to
like
the
some of the
championship at East
stuff I've
Lake.
seen, man, is pretty crazy. I'm like, I kind of get why they stopped selling alcohol there,
Yeah. My friend
but
was
yeah.
there. He went on Friday, and
Oh, okay.
I texted him. And someone we're in a group message, and the other guy in the group message texted and was like, "Hey man, how is the tournament going?" He's like, "Well, I'm going home tomorrow, hungover. I had to pick someone up from jail and get someone out of the hospital. So, it was we can call that a good weekend, I guess." And I was like,
It's so
"Wow."
crazy.
So, and then he's like, "We
It's
didn't
all
even
it's
go.
crazy.
They didn't even go yesterday on Saturday."
Yeah, and
And
Saturday's the crazy
he
day,
was like, "I mean, I heard it was ridiculous." So,
dude. I saw or Riggs and Trent talked about it on their podcast this week about when they went and did the whole old school run and everything. And they're like, yeah, I would never do it again. They're like, I did it once and it was great, but like, I'm just never
yeah,
doing it again.
yeah,
But it's weird. It's definitely not it doesn't sound like your gentleman event golf, whatever. But I like that it's a one off with it. I don't want every tournament
mm,
like it,
mm-hmm,
but but I always find it fun to watch it. I always think it's cool. I think it's cool that they like chanted overrated at Spieth. I don't care if it's crazy and it's ridiculous and like of course it's not true because believe me, if Spieth goes by or heads over there today, maybe he's already played it, but I think he's finishing up his third round. But if he puts it close if he holds it out or something, they're going to go crazy
mm-hmm,
for him. Like they don't care who you are,
yeah,
what you do. And I love that the players get a little bit more interaction with it too. I think
yeah,
what they do on 16 has made that for sure. There's probably some lines that they go over, but
yeah,
the tournament itself just looks like kind of what I want golf to transition to a little bit. Like the Ryder Cup's fun for that. Like I
mm-hmm,
want to see that raw emotion.
mm-hmm,
I don't always want to see just like tip my hat, made my birdie putt, walk off,
yeah,
everyone claps, nobody says anything.
right,
Like
right.
I want more than that.
Billy Horschel just yelled at a guy. I saw an Instagram post. Because
I wonder who I can't remember who it was. They said something to him somebody said something to him and he missed his putt, whatever, I think he got a par. I don't think he got a bogey. But when he was going through the tunnel, he like cocked it back and like did the stutter step like he was gonna just beam it at him,
mm,
but faked it.
mm.
And I guess they all flinched and then he pointed and laughed and then they booed him more and then he was laughing too. But I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
Dude, that guy,
Oh,
he
I was like that
he's not afraid to
is
come at
pretty
a
funny.
fan. He's done it a few
Th-
times.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
but they're all those little. But you see that course won that course. Like I don't know how they're keeping up. Like we said, the rain is
Yeah.
crazy,
Yeah.
and the field still looks super good. I mean, but I did. We were talking about this earlier. I did not know a PGA Tour event they would. I didn't know they did lift clean in place ever.
I didn't know that
And
either. I looked it up, and it says
I
like
d-
it's not a standard practice, so
right,
conditions must have to be really bad
terrible.
for that to happen. But people, yeah, you're right. People are still
They
15
said it
under
wrong.
right now.
Well, because that I mean that Nick Taylor dude literally shot like 11 under when he had his like lift clean in place round. Not saying that's why he did it.
Yeah,
He still had to hit fairways,
right.
but it is weird in golf where you just play at a different time of day or sometimes a whole different day than the person, and it can be really advantageous and sometimes really at a big disadvantage
Yeah,
too as well.
right,
Which is it's super interesting. Like the guys who had to go out in 37 degrees versus the guys who are going out and playing on super soft greens.
right.
But I'm
I,
excited. I'm excited for next week too because Tiger will make his first little appearance. I
oh
don't
yeah,
know
I haven't
how
been
he'll
paying
go.
attention to the PGA Tour. Like I haven't watched one hole of this tournament. I follow like
This is the only tournament I've started. I've really watched. I
yeah,
didn't watch much of the other ones
yeah.
at all, really. The Dubai or whatever the other one was.
Sometimes it's
I don't even know if
like I
I
could throw
watched
it
it.
on in the background, but I'm just doing other things and it's not a
Yeah.
priority. And I can follow along with people I want to on my phone and see their scores and stuff like that. But
Yep.
I mean that's how I am with
Same.
baseball too. Like I love baseball. I'm a big Braves fan, but like
Yeah.
I don't sit down and watch a game all the time. I just follow along on my phone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's easy to follow along on
right.
your
But
phone too.
yesterday I had an hour and I watched the Bob Does Sports major at TPC Scottsdale.
Yeah.
And I watched that instead of watching the golf tournament because that's it's more entertaining. Like
It is.
it made
Oh,
me laugh. It made me
well,
laugh a
they're
lot.
cream of the crop
Yeah.
too, you know? I mean, yeah, but
They shot
and
84s. Him and uh Cold Cuts. They both shot an
yeah.
84, which I was actually really impressed with. Um
Oh, for sure,
yeah.
and playing and it looked like they just played that course, like, just
Yeah.
earlier in the week.
Yeah. I don't know when they
Like
played it, but it looked like it was ready for the tournament. So they played on
yeah, they had
tournament
grandstands up.
yeah, tournament speed greens probably.
Yeah,
Fairways and the rough was thick. Like
which is definitely something I want us to do is play a course this year to see because I really wonder ever since Bryson said that thing with GM
yeah,
when they were trying to break 50 on sometimes like tour and tournament professional greens are actually easier because they're consistent. Like they may be faster,
yeah,
but they're easier because they're
but they roll
consistent.
true.
And I'm like, well, I didn't really have necessarily that experience at Barnsley, but maybe if you're playing it all the time, it's different.
Yeah,
Because I've heard the same thing from the Barstool guys watching more of their videos. Is they're like, we also play on tough courses, but the courses we play on are really nice. Like you're not
hmm
going to have a
hmm
crappy bunker or whatever.
My last round that I played, it was an 18, no 17. I was it was a par five. I hit a good drive, but I didn't have a good angle in, so I hit a 100-yard shot to give myself 100. I had 100 yards in on my shot three. Crushed a 56 degree. I hit it like 120 yards, which is like abnormal. So
Yeah,
I was a little over the green. I chipped on to 3 feet, um, and so I had an easy par putt. And on the green, literally directly in my line, was just a patch of sand, just like spotted, around. And I was like, "What?" Like, and it
yeah,
really messed with me. It was right there. Like, it wasn't like I could have hit it past, and I could have made the putt, but
sure.
it bothered me, and I pulled it left and bogeyed the hole. And then
Oh,
I went back and I was frustrated with myself and I re-hit the putt and I pushed it the other way and I missed on the hole on both sides from the same exact place because just like it's a
yeah.
municipal
What's it
course.
doing
The
there?
the the
Yeah,
if I had hit it straight through the sand, I don't it would have bounced all over the place.
you had to
So
figure out some crazy speed for it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm not saying I'd
Yeah,
be
I
a
don't
tour
know.
player, but I mean,
No, definitely. I mean, there's no question that there's times where it's really frustrating, but I've always wanted to see what that's like. But those guys, I mean, you see
mhm,
it a lot with them because
yeah.
I think of the beginning parts of that video, they were blowing things by the hole too.
Oh yeah.
But
I mean, playing the plantation course at Sea Island, like those greens were immaculate,
oh, I bet say I
immaculate.
bet those greens were super pure.
They were awesome. I mean, the greens
Yeah,
at Barnsley were great too. Like I'd go back and
Barnsley were the best greens I've played on for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
So we'll try to. We need to figure something out so that we can do something like that this year. That'd be really cool.
maybe if we're playing in the Midwest
Yeah,
Open.
exactly. Did they say what course they're playing at for that?
Yeah, it's the Heat. Gosh,
French Lick.
yes,
So are they gonna play? It's like a real course.
that's what I've heard more courses are lighting up holes for night golf.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think they're going the night golf route again. I don't know. From the podcast, he made it seem like they were doing like a legit. Now I don't know if it's going to be 9 holes or 18 or whatnot. We were wrong on this one, but this is I'm guessing they're going to play at least like 9 legit holes.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I'm watching the
Yeah,
little promo
Orange
they have
County,
on
Indiana.
Instagram, and it looks like a legit course.
It is a legit. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a very nice course, and
Yeah.
they've done multiple videos at it. But
Okay.
so I think that'd be super cool.
Yeah.
Um, we'll try to get out there.
That'd
That'd
be
be
cool.
dope.
That would be great. All right. So recap for this pod: the Desert Open, very first live YouTube golf tournament, 9 out of 10.
Yeah,
You
need
know,
more of them.
absolutely
Bob does
fantastic.
sports. If you can put one on, you
Whoa, breezy
maybe
golf.
I don't know if you can, but they would be dope. I mean, maybe they could make the Breezy Invitational live. That would be
That would
sick.
be cool. That would be really cool. So yeah, 9 out of 10, absolutely awesome. I'm excited for June 18th, Midwest Open. That's coming up. It's
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
4 months from now. Very cool. Waste management, sloppy, absolutely sloppy. Players are still playing well. It looks like the top number one is 18 under in these conditions, which is pretty crazy. Um,
Yeah.
you know, so
I think everything's super soft and everything else
yeah.
out there, but it is probably pretty muddy and gross. So I
I
think
watched
it.
Evan Thompson's
I don't know.
video.
They might still have lift clean in place today. I don't
Yeah,
even know if they
I don't
do,
I don't
but
know. I
if it
haven't
rain, I
turned it
think
on.
it rained last night, so I don't know why they wouldn't.
Right. I watched Evan Thompson's video. He played the course. I'm pretty sure he shot even par. He hit 17 out of 18 greens in regulation in his video.
Wow,
Yeah. He tried to
crazy.
qualify for the tournament.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw him doing his little qualifying stuff,
yeah.
but I think he didn't. I think he didn't make. I think like 7 under or something. He
Yeah.
said was like needed, and I was like,
Crazy.
dude,
So,
7 under would have been leading the tournament after day one.
yeah. That's
That's what's crazy to
right.
me.
He
I'm like,
he
how was that qualifying? But that would have been leading the tournament.
he said something on one of his Instagram videos that I saw that he thinks college golfers now are somewhat like better than some PGA players because they play harder courses in harder conditions um in college tournaments
Hmm.
than like the PGA stuff. I'm pretty sure that's what he said, which I think is crazy.
Yeah.
Um so
I mean, the standard to get into things are just
ridiculous.
are crazy, crazy.
Yeah.
But
All right.
but yeah,
Well, yeah, we try to keep it short. I think this is around 30 minutes. I enjoyed the conversation. Make sure to tune in our next episode, which will be on the 26th, 2 weeks from tomorrow, the 12th. And Brett has a big announcement. So,
yeah.
Miles,
Miles will be back.
yep. And
We'll get to some
I
more
hope he
golf for y'all.
enjoyed Disney World. So
Hopefully, we're talking about Tiger's win at Genesis or
that would
something,
be
whatever that tournament
that would
is.
be awesome. That'd be cool.
But
I'll
yeah,
watch I'll watch tournament if Tiger's in it.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't wait till next weekend to
All
see
right.
Tiger play.
Yeah,
Basically,
absolutely. All right, man. Well, thanks for jumping on. It was good talking with you. To all our listeners, thank you for listening. If you haven't, go ahead and give this a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, wherever you're listening, make sure to give us a review. We really appreciate it. It helps out a lot. We love y'all, and we hope that you have a great week. Happy Monday. Bye.
Yeah. See you guys.